Hey guys, just want to do a quick video, Christmas video, and say Merry Christmas and all that, and also share the year with you. For most of us, it has been an interesting year, to call it. It's being nice, and so I just wanted to share my experience in 2020. It's been a really weird, been a bittersweet year. They always are, there's always good and bad, but with 2020, it's one of those years where you're saying, maybe I'll just forget that one. But for me, it was really three major things that stand out. One was the politics going on, and I've never been political, but I became political this year just because of how I thought our country was. I just felt like you had to start standing up for what America used to be, because with the politics and a large group of people, including the people at the top, saying that, it was just so hate-filled and the messages were so selfish and self-centered, and we just lost all, what I feel is all our humanity. And I felt like we were going towards Nazi Germany. And so I realized, at this point in my life, live or die, I'm going to stand up and stand up to the people I think are way, way off base. So many of you have seen my posts and think, wow, he's gone off the deep end. But it was just, if we don't stand up, we end up to be Nazi Germany. And that's what I felt was happening. So a lot of my posts are a little bit wild or excessive. But like I say, I think if we don't stand up, what we get is Nazi Germany again. So anyway, that's the one thing. And hopefully that's over. But it's not really over because right now, currently, things are still kind of up in the air, and we don't know if Biden's going to go through his inauguration, or whether there's still going to be some type of coup or whatever. But that's the one thing that's been different than anything in my life. I've never been political, never felt like I needed to stand up until now. And the America I grew up in, that I thought was getting better and better for all people, minorities, whatever, people were discriminated against, things like that. It went the other way, and it started to become okay to be a Nazi, okay to be a white supremacist. That's not okay with me, so that's why I had to stand up. But anyway, on to one of the big accomplishments is I did a total hip, got my total hip done this year. Had to prepare for it for about 2 years because I hate going in for anything, especially an artificial joint. I have an artificial knee, and so now I was like, I don't want to do this, but I finally built up to it and got ready and scheduled it in and got that done in June. Well, I was just, I lost 10 or 15 pounds of mass because I couldn't work out anymore. And then Jeanette comes home with a COVID in late August. So I'm just getting my rehab and starting to feel back to normal, and Jeanette comes home with COVID. We didn't know it was because she didn't test for it. And she was over in a week, but as soon as she started getting over it, I got the symptoms, and let me tell you, it's not the flu. It's anyway. So it got pretty. I started to get scared after the second or third day. Called the doc, went in, and he goes, you don't have COVID. You're not sick enough. I treat COVID patients all the time. Go home. Be careful. It's probably just flu. Well, the minute I got home, I dropped off a cliff, and I started running a 101, 102, 103 fever. And I was almost delirious. So I thought, well, shit, what am I going to do? I just went to see the doc, and he said I don't have COVID. Maybe it's just a really bad flu. So I weathered that for another few days. So it went on for, I guess, probably a week. I think all said and done, I was running a fever for almost 9 days. And it just got worse and worse. By about the 5th day, I think, I got really scared and went to the emergency room. And so they did an x-ray and did the COVID test, drew blood and all that. They said, it's going to take 2 days to get the COVID test back, but in the meantime, you've got a touch of pneumonia. So we would like to admit you to keep an eye on you, or we can give you some antibiotics, send you home, but we don't recommend that. So I said, well, why don't you keep me for a day and keep an eye on me? They said, yeah, we'll start you on an IV, antibiotic and IV right away. Well, 8 hours later, they were still playing around. They put me in this, I guess it was the COVID ward, and I was on cardboard. They didn't even give you blankets. I guess people were dying so fast that I was sitting on cardboard. And they were just milling around. They hadn't even got me a Tylenol for the pain. And the pain, a couple things about COVID. You lose your appetite. I couldn't taste, couldn't smell. And so you don't even feel like eating, and you throw up when you see food. And so by the second or third day, I knew that I better start eating. So I was forcing down anything, water, fruits, and anything. So that's the one thing. The other thing is the pain. If you've got joint pain, back pain, which I've got everything from competing and stuff, and you have pain, and it's magnified by about 100 times. And they couldn't even get me a pain pill, let alone the antibiotics drip that they said were going to start within the hour. So 8 hours later, the infectious disease doc comes in. She's from another country, could barely speak English, and she's telling me, don't worry, we've got all sorts of things we can try. And I'm like, what do you mean? You aren't talking about the Trumpy cures, are you? You know, all the stuff he invested in to sell to people, you know, with chlorine and all that stuff. So I said, you know, she goes, oh, he has some good ideas. I said, no. I said, that's it. You know, and I didn't throw her out, but I just said, I'm not doing that. She will keep an eye on you. We'll figure something out. And so she left, and I took about an hour, and I just kept getting worse. And I said, I'm going to die here. I'm literally going to die in this fucking, excuse my French, in this, you know, hospital. And so by then I was like, I'm done. So I called the nurse and I said, you check me out. I said, get the discharge papers ready. Oh, you can't do that? I said, oh yeah, I can. I'll pull the IVs out. So they did the discharge, called Jeanette and got a cab and went home. And all I could do, I was so weak, all I could do was take a sip of water and go to bed. So woke up the next day running 102 fever. This went on for, well, no, that day I called the doc and he said, why didn't you call me? And I said, well, you told me I wasn't sick. And he goes, I'm sending some antibiotic over to the pharmacy. I got the heavy duty antibiotic, started taking it. And I all said and done, I was spiking 101 to 103 fever for I think it was 9 days. And finally that Saturday, after I think it was 3 days into the antibiotic, I woke up cold sweating and everything. I finally broke the fever. It was about 4 hours of cold sweats and changing clothes. And finally broke the fever. And then it was a gradual recovery. It certainly wasn't fast, where every day I felt a little bit better. It took about a week to 2 weeks to start eating again. And so by then I'd lost, like I say, 15, 20 pounds. So now here it is December. I'm just barely back to where I'm, you know, most days I'm feeling good. I'm back up to, I'll be able to do my 50 push-ups. I did that this week, hit 50 push-ups straight. But yeah, my endurance, I'm barely doing, I think I'm doing 10 minutes in the morning walk and 10 minutes at night. And I'm still getting my, you know, I'm still trying to train, but it's not the same, you know, it's still coming back. So, again, if anybody tells you, friend, relative, or friend, or whoever, that it's just the flu, or don't worry about it, everybody will get over it, and we need herd immunity, just smack the shit out of them. Just tell them they you know, they need to grow half a brain, because this isn't the flu. It almost killed me. Jeanette got over it, but it almost killed me. And so the question is, do you want to die yourself, or do you want to kill one of your relatives or friends? Because that's what it comes down to. You either care enough for society and for the people that you care about to do the precautions. They aren't, I mean, they're a pain in the butt, but it's not like they kill you. Wear a mask, keep 6 foot distance, don't go to family get-togethers and stuff. Call this year off, do it next year. But anyway, that's my COVID message, and I'll get off my soapbox. But it really heavily impacted me, because I'm just happy to be here now. You know, I'm thankful for this year because I made it through it. And the message is that if you do wake up in the morning and you're here for this Christmas, you're not done. Your work is not done yet. My work's not done yet. Otherwise, I would have checked out. So that's the message is, you know, you're here to impact people in a positive way. And for me, I know that my work's not done because I'm still here. And the last thing I'll leave you with is you know, Christmas for me is a magical time. Hopefully for you too. But if not, you know, my thing is, if you don't like what you have and you have this bad memory or something, well, change it. Start your new memories, and that's what Jeanette and I are doing. Because you know, she wants new memories. She's from Peru, and you know, she had some different Christmas memories, but we're creating our own now. And the one memory I want to share with you from my childhood is my grandmother, who was the glue of our family. She was the one that got everybody together for Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and all that. And so I have these fantastic memories of Christmas. And one of the memories is going to these family get-togethers, and she would cook for days before. And she would do these popcorn. Popcorn balls is what everybody knows them as, but she would do them in the form of a snowman or a Santa Claus or whatever. So all the kids got that. I remember the get-togethers and how much fun they were. But also the earliest memory for my family Christmas was we'd have this big tree and all these gifts. And the kids would fight. We would all fight over this little rocking chair, this miniature rocking chair, and we'd pull it over in front of the Christmas tree, turn on the lights, and I sit there and dream about what presents we'd get. And maybe we'd pull the paper off of one of them to kind of sneak a peek to see what we were getting. But that's one of my earliest Christmas memories. And overall, yeah, Christmas for me is a magical time. I hope it is for you. And I hope this Christmas is the best Christmas you ever have, in spite of what we're going through, because we will get through it. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I hope this next year is the best year you ever have.